$1,000 deductible, it's not gonna cost them anything. The town, it's already budgeted for 12, and this is 8%.
So we wouldn't have to take another check.
That's what I was
Well, I'm
trying to say.
misunderstanding you, let's
Yeah.
do that.
So then that 500 would go towards, HRA can go towards that $1,000 deductible, and they're just truly responsible for the 500. If they use it. You know, some people don't. I haven't used mine this year.
Well, John, with that being said, I just make a motion, we go to the $1,000 deductible. The employees will be faced with a higher deductible, but it won't cost them another check for this year. And they'll have that $500 HRA to help put against it, so. It'll be just like it was before you ever got an HRA a few years ago.
Yeah, there's really no change except, okay, I would second that. And I agree, we need to get numbers earlier if we can.
Okay.
And if it proves beneficial, then we'll keep on doing that. But
Okay.
I'm thinking the further out you go, they don't know what's gonna happen next year either.
Okay.
And they're not giving any big deals, but, so we'll make that unanimous.
Okay. Would you like for me to check with Maryland to see if we can get that rate frozen for 2 years or
Be
3
nice.
years? I mean,
I doubt they will, but
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be worth asking.
okay.
Yeah. No, I don't think they will. They don't know what's going on.
Well, at least try. And then I do have the other gentleman's name from Vincent, but I'll see what's needed of him, you know, what he
Franklin.
needs of us.
Yeah, we need to
American,
I have it on my desk if you'd like for me.
make that competitive each time we have to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
is,
okay, so there's one.
what's next?
they just have to know, LGA, that, you know, these costs are going up, and we got no control over that. And if they don't, then we're gonna have to seriously look at some of the other funds and what we're spending everywhere else.
Well, and that's why I have got the dental insurance, the vision, the life, the medical. I've broke it down. I've started to break it down to show just how much each, you know, so you guys can take a look at that. Okay?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, I'll have to get a new one because this is for the 14%. So,
Okay, do we need to sign anything, or?
well, this is what, she's not here.
She didn't bring it, so she'll have to get it, and you'll have to come up here and sign it.
Okay,
From
yeah,
time to time.
this one's based on the 14%, so,
Okay,
um,
anybody have anything to say?
Done a good job on your insurance. Save town money.
taxpayers.
It's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The next one is the ACH agreement, the rules and regulations. I was able to get that from the bank and I gave it to Rita, and I did contact her to see if she's had a chance to go through it, and I told you what she said. You go ahead and approve it based on she's okay with everything.
She's already reviewed it?
No, she has not. She said that she'll finish going through it tonight and she will let me know tomorrow. But I told her I spoke to Nathan last week and Nathan needs the agreement signed by the end of this year.
I don't know how we can approve it, not even knowing what's in it. Sometimes you can approve it pending
Yeah,
legal clarification, but
yeah,
when
that's
she's
it.
reviewing the entire thing, I don't know how we can do that.
I think that's what she would like for me to do.
Approve it pending her.
And we're not giving her any guidelines for that, of what's acceptable. I guess you only pretty much have to accept what's required.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, anything to say about that?
Well,
we ain't got no choice. I mean, you don't realize that before we can't do a meeting Monday, there ain't enough time. So we about have to approve it pending her approval.
Yeah, I should,
I sent her an email on the 19th, letting her know that this was gonna be on the agenda and that Nathan had requested it be done, so I did send her an email to let her know.
well, and she knew that it was coming up tonight. Well, if you wanna make a motion to that, or we could meet at the end of the year, that's fine.
We don't have enough time to post it between now and the 31st.
Well,
I just give you tomorrow. You need 48 hours.
48. And that's be done by the end of the year. And
That's
she's
what-
had it since the 19th, right?
She's had the, I emailed her to let her know that I have the rules and regulations, and then she came to the last board meeting and I gave her the manual, and then on the 19th, I sent her an email letting her know that Nathan needed it by the end of the year and that this would be placed on the agenda. And then I had Shakira call her at 12 and she was eating lunch and said that she would finish reading through it and let me know. And so I called her at 6 and still, she hadn't had a chance to finish it.
Yeah. That's kinda letting us down. I have considered an executive meeting to discuss some issues with her. I don't know what your feelings are about that. But, talk about controlling expenses, our legal expenses are getting way out of hand. We need a grip on that.
John, may I? I think you ought to consider an attorney who's trying to make a living here in Odon with an office and try to support him. You know, if she wants to work at Crane, she's not able to devote the time that you need, you know, to your projects, I don't think. And she does the town judge. He's the local guy, is the Elmore town attorney, so he's going to have more and more experience. I mean, he's young, but he's got a lot of time right now. And his rates are fairly reasonable, and I know he would be very interested in doing the job. And I'd just like to see you consider him.
Yeah,
He's pretty sharp too.
we've considered that, and it's kind of a difficult thing. Lawyers want to come to the meeting, 2 or 3 hours, and your hourly rate goes on during that time. You don't need them
No.
for most situations, but it's very expensive if you ask them to come. Washington attorneys don't want to be here, and you can retain them, and the retainage goes further than if you have them sit through a long drawn-out meeting.
But John, could you not, I mean, I know she comes to about every meeting, and it looks to me like, you know, you could have your meeting, and then if something comes up where you need legal counsel, say, we're gonna have to table this till the next meeting where we can give our counsel time to look it over and confer with them and bring it up to the next meeting. I mean, it's just awful expensive, like you say, the way it's being done.
You know, it's
Well, we've not gotten the service that we need since she went to work at Crane either.
before she was always available, you could call her, and I'm not, you know, it's just the way the situation is, but if there's a question comes up in the middle of the day, you like to pick up the phone, call the attorney and say
That's right.
where we are on this thing, so.
And also, if you look at a lot of the things that haven't been done properly, the annexations, not whether, I don't know if it's her fault, you know, this one blames that one, like you said last time, and who do you blame? But, you know, if you're paying this attorney to see that it gets done, then they ought to see that it gets done right, and that's not being done on at least 2 instances.
Well, there's the memorial from the VFW or the American Legion too.
I think, you know, it's something we might want to consider, depends on your thoughts of it, Tom. tonight until we have a chance to meet with her privately.
Right.
And, I think, at this point, we will not set a meeting, but we will, put that on our burner for January to, have a discussion with her. And, a time will be set at a later time. Got some ongoing things that, it'll take quite a bit of legal work, and that includes the plan for a project that is underway, and review of that, so, it's getting more critical all the time, so.
So I guess for now, I mean, I'll make a motion that we sign this ACH pending on her approval tomorrow with Beth.
Yeah, I second that, and, make that unanimous. I have no idea what all that covers.
That's what we pay her for.
That's pretty thick.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay,